So, as I mentioned at the open of the show, we couldn't be more excited about having the Bassquatch Hunter show and Mike McKinstry, who is right here in West Bloomfield, shooting a show here. It's a national show. It's big. It's on the Discovery Channel, and we couldn't be more excited about it. So his most recent episode that is about to debut on the Discovery Channel, we are actually, Mike, the local great guy that he is, has given us the opportunity to air it first. The premiere of this episode tonight, 6 o'clock on Civic Center TV. If you get home a little late, we're going to immediately repeat it, play it one more time at 6:30, and you'll be able to watch. Now, Mike, when he does his show, it's about fishing. It's about fishing from kayaks. And not only does he like to fish, but he also likes to take somebody out with him and then learn a little bit more about what they do. So let's roll a clip right now from tonight's premiere of his new episode.
Hey guys, it's Mike McKinstry, host of Bassquatch Hunter Fish Out of Water.
Hi, I'm Chef Doug Gahns. I'm the executive chef at Orchard Lake Country Club.
So this is your first time in a kayak fishing, right? Not your first time fishing.
This is my first time in a kayak.
So I don't know what to expect on this lake. This is a lake I don't fish often, but we're in the back of the Orchard Lake Country Club. This place is beautiful, it's gorgeous. So thanks for inviting us into your world, kind of in the environment, but now you're in my world of fishing first. So are you excited?
I am so excited. We're glad to have you.
So after I take you fishing, then what are we getting into after that?
Well, once I get out of your world, we're going to enter my world, and we will do some cooking. We have a really nice walleye dish we're going to make today. Michigan themed, spring themed, and we'll be ready to throw down in the kitchen here after this.
Awesome. So we're going to go hit the water. Hopefully we're going to catch some good fish out here. Then we're going to go cook some fish inside. So stay tuned, guys.
All right, little tease of tonight's show. Joining us now on the program live is Doug Gahns, the one and only, who's going to be on the show tonight. Chef, hey, good morning. Thank you for joining us here on the Splash Live. I hope you will excuse the expression, but you really didn't look like a fish out of water there. But from our conversation before the show, that was kind of a new experience for you, wasn't it?
You know, I've never been on a kayak in my life. It was a little intimidating. I fished quite a bit, but that was a new experience.
And then it must have been like you had Steven Spielberg all around you, too, because they had to have some cameras and recording equipment. Was it a little intimidating fishing, not tipping over the kayak, and then making yourselves look good for television?
I would say probably the first 5 minutes was a little bit nerve-wracking. Mike's crew, they're great, really good guys, down to earth. They settled the opening jitters down pretty quickly, and then we got busy. So yes, there were a lot of film crew members, but all great to work with, and they made it pretty easy.
Well,
and a lot of fun.
How cool is it? I mean, here we are. We have a national show shot right here in West Bloomfield, airs on the Discovery Channel, and it's just doing big numbers. Mike is just knocking it out of the park. And there at little old Orchard Lake and the unbelievably impressive Orchard Lake Country Club, right here, our own backyard in the national spotlight. I don't know, I just get all giddy about that.
Well, I'm certainly blessed to be a part of the whole community and the club, obviously, and teaching at Oakland Community College. Just the whole entire Oakland County community is just fantastic. So when we can represent the community and do something like, be involved with Mike's show and then kind of be in my world of cooking, I mean, that's a perfect scenario for me, the perfect storm.
So talk a little bit about what you do and about, for all of us that might go out fishing today or this weekend, catching a fish and then making it taste really good when it finally gets on the kitchen or dining room table. Any tips for us?
Well, I mean, the most important thing is fresh. The fresher the fish, probably the better the end outcome is going to be. Buy good products, treat them right, don't overwork them. Sometimes, just simple cooking is the best. A little simple salt and pepper, a good sear, or a good grill. Just keeping it simple. The ingredients that go with fish, lemon, and fresh herbs, it can't be any better than that. So don't overwork it.
Should we be scared about cooking fish on the grill? Because fish is so tender, a lot more tender than steak. Is there anything we should be worried about there?
Yes. With fish, there's firm fillets, and there's some that are super tender, like you talked about. So yes, it can be a little intimidating, and I think what happens is sometimes people have a poor outcome when they give it a try, and then they just give up. So don't give up. Keep trying. There's so much information out there today. So many YouTube videos. You get online, check a couple out, see what people are doing. Watch our show today. We have some tricks and some techniques for you. And really, it's just don't give up. Keep trying. You can do it.
We've got that video on there. You want to tell us what it was that you made on the show?
So this was an almond-crusted walleye, and I was informed that Mike is gluten intolerant, so he's actually celiac. So we had to be really careful with what we cooked. So we went with the almond crust, pan-seared. This is a little grape and celery salad, simple vinaigrette that we put on top of it. I think Mike's dish there had a little bit of ramp puree on the plate. We went with a Michigan theme, a spring theme with wild onions and some morel mushrooms, and we just tried to fit the whole, goodie basket of Michigan ingredients in the spring into this dish. It was very tasty.
Well, it looks like he was pretty comfortable in your environment.
Surprisingly, he did a really good job. He likes to cook. He has a little bit of experience in the industry, and he was a natural. He did really well.
Joining us, Doug Gahns. He is the chef instructor, Oakland Community College, and the chair of the department, and also makes everything great at the Orchard Lake Country Club, where he is the executive chef. I've had the opportunity, through some other projects I'm working on, to see the amazing young people that are coming into your industry. Is being a chef a good gig for a lifetime job?
Well, I can tell you this, you're never going to go hungry. You're always going to have food. So that's a good thing. And the culinary industry is the second largest employer in the United States after the government here. So there are plenty of jobs out there. We slowed down a little bit with COVID, but it's making a strong comeback. The culinary scene in Oakland County, along with Detroit, the surrounding areas, is really up and coming. And gaining momentum and finally being recognized, throughout the United States. So good things are happening in our local area here.
And talk about your program, as long as we have you here, out at Oakland Community College, and the kind of people that you attract there, and anything else that might be helpful to know.
Yeah, with the college, one of the nicest things is it's a 2-year program. You can get through it pretty quick. Really approachable instructors, strong program. The history of our program and the graduates and the current students is really strong. We've had students that have gone on to do great things, locally, nationally, even internationally, and you can do it for a fraction of the cost of some of your bigger schools. I was lucky enough to attend a school in New York, the Culinary Institute of America, and I can tell you, you can get the same kind of education right here locally for, like I said, a fraction of the cost. So if you're thinking about the industry, it really makes sense to jump in and give it a try. Come see us at Oakland Community College, and we'll get you on the right path.
And how are things at the country club? And maybe you talk a little bit about being a chef at one of the premier country clubs, not only here in metropolitan Detroit, but maybe in the country. You work at a wonderful, very nice establishment. Tell us a little bit about that. And do you get a chance to ever cook one-on-one? Or are you always cooking meals for big groups of people? Or do you actually get to do some specific dishes for people there?
Well, I can tell you the club is absolutely gorgeous. We have a strong program, many graduates from Oakland Community College and other colleges in the area. And every day is different at a country club. In a restaurant, you are cooking for your guests in the dining room. At a country club, you're cooking for people on the waterfront and at the picnic grove and in several different dining rooms and the golf course. So every day is a little bit different. It's extremely challenging. All country clubs members are using their clubs more than ever. So we are seeing big numbers, a lot of involvement with the membership, and it's strong. We stay busy. In the one-on-one stuff, a little bit. We do have a chef table that we offer right inside one of our kitchens where we can have up to 12 guests, and they are right there, on the front lines, watching it happen, be involved. You know, they can get up and walk around the kitchen, and we're just doing some really nice things. We're trying to keep it fresh, and which is always a challenge, but it's good. Business is good.
Well, you certainly had an opportunity to keep it fresh by getting out on Orchard Lake with a Bassquatch Hunter and harvesting your own meal and then going in and preparing it. Have you ever done that? Have you ever actually harvested a fish or some other food product yourself and then prepared it? And by the way, look at that great fish that you and Mike caught out there.
Yeah, Mike that was a huge smallmouth bass, and I think he was even a little surprised with that fish. But yes, you know, I'm an outdoorsy guy. I've been hunting and fishing pretty much my whole life. This is nothing new of catching something and bringing it right in the kitchen and cooking. It's one of the best things you can do, especially with fish. Again, we started talking about keeping it fresh, and boy, you just can't keep it any fresher than that.
Well, Doug, good job. Thank you for being with us on the show. I love what you and Mike are doing. You're both having a big impact on young people in our community, helping them be the very best that they can do. Mike certainly takes time to work with the youth in our community. What you're doing over at OCC and then bringing a lot of those people in to your work environment, really positive impact. And now you've got a video resume from a national show to add to what you got. So, hey, nice doings. Make sure you watch premiere tonight. It's going to be 6 o'clock right here in Civic Center TV. Chef Gahns, thank you very much for joining us today on The Splash Live.
You're welcome. Thank you, Dave.